Remember your childhood? It was a good time, wasn't it? Or at least I hope it was. Sitting at my PlayStation 2 and looking at an old VCR screen. Times were simple back then. I was a young boy, playing my favorite video games and getting unlimited cola supplies from my mother. What changed? I think nothing. Nothing in our perception, that's for sure. We all want experiences, to be a part of something. And the games in my childhood were just that. It's funny how not having, or not even knowing what the internet was back then, I still felt like a part of something bigger. I was glued to the screen, totally amazed how somebody could take a video and make it into a video game. That's how I thought about it then. I remember literally thinking, do they actually draw every single possible picture there can be and then arrange them in some way? Needless to say, I didn't know what code was, what an engine was, how games and programs are even created. Time went on. I am an 11-year-old kid who's just discovered Minecraft Beta 1.7.3. To say I was completely and utterly in love with it at first sight would be an understatement. I joined a random server I found online and immediately got jumped by a skeleton. Thankfully, some guy was running past nearby and saved me. We started chatting and he told me he had a base nearby and invited me to come over. There I could stay for a night and he'd give me some resources to build a house of my own. After a couple of minutes walking, we reached his base. I remember a big flat wooden platform on top of a lake or something like that, all surrounded with big fortification walls. For the time I felt safe. I felt the sense of wonder. It was all a bit too much and a bit too sudden. But from that moment on, I always wanted to know how games work, how I can make something as beautiful as that. That's why my 11-year-old brain thought about learning programming. And being a Minecraft fan, Java was the only right choice. Of course, it horribly backfired, and I achieved literally nothing, but I did learn. All these words, variables, arrays, objects, classes, meant almost nothing, but I did listen, and I did try. That's what really mattered to me. Time went by, and by high school I got into music. I used to laugh at an old white guitar sitting at home. It was my uncle's, and he would sometimes play the Beatles on it. I picked it up and started learning again. This time I will succeed, I told myself. The first months went by quick. I remember getting sick and having horrible tonsillitis, but I had that guitar, some online tutorials to keep me company, and an overly positive amount of motivation. In my early 20s, I assembled a band and played on stage for the first time on a little festival of some technical university. We were pretty bad. People applauded and clapped their hands. That meant something good. Something snapped in me. I tried something new in my life and it worked. This was a dream come true scenario for me. I felt real power and my self-esteem grew from skinny, acne-faced teen to not giving a shit Kurt Cobain levels of confidence. What a time that was. My music career didn't go too far, though I learned to record music and in the end made 4 albums with something I'm definitely proud of to this very day. I learned more, and that's what mattered the most. Then, after a couple of years of a writer's block, I decided it was time to go into programming one more time. I learned of a game engine named Godot, and that time I thought I'm old enough to, well, not to get too discouraged and actually finish something. That's why I decided to create the most simple, easy to make genre of games, an open world fantasy RPG. Now I know, but what would you expect? After Minecraft, Skyrim, after performing on stage and thinking that anything can be possible if you put your mind to it, there was no way I was going back to pick anything else. and I started working. It was rough at times, but after 100 tutorials, things got less cryptic. Sprites, animations, tile sets, mobs, pathfinding, collisions, scene transitions, the inventory, god, that was a tough one, lighting, day and night cycles, stats, shitty attempts at pixel art, more scripts, dialogues, the feeling of it all breaking any second now. I made a game. The general idea is that the world is a square, because circles are hard, and you're drifting in an endless void through space on a beautiful land inhabited by quirky and very cheesy NPCs. And then I decided to scrap it all. The game is called The Square, and you can still find it on itch.io and play it on Mac, Windows and Linux, but there was something missing. I decided to make it an MMO. Sort of. When I started the original project, I was thinking of adding the multiplayer function later. How difficult can it be? It was very difficult. So I ended up doing the most sane thing imaginable and scrapped my totally chaotic project and started it all over again after about a year and a half of work. But I did learn something. It wasn't all for nothing. I had my assets, my sounds, my music that I had composed for it. It did all amount to something.